There's no siren, no flashing light, no moment where life pauses to hand you a manual and say, "Here's how everything works from now on." And yet, something shifts after 65. Physicians and researchers who dedicate their careers to understanding the aging body have noticed a quiet but consistent truth. After 65, the human body begins operating by a different set of rules. The changes aren't dramatic, they aren't loud. They're gradual enough to be dismissed, misread, or silently endured. Most people assume something is wrong with them, when in reality, nothing is wrong at all. Their body is simply communicating in a language they were never taught. So here's the real question worth sitting with. What if the changes you've been noticing aren't signs of failure, but signals you were never shown how to interpret? By the time this ends, you'll have a clearer picture of what genuinely happens inside the body after 65, the changes that quietly catch people off guard, the ones nobody prepares you for, but absolutely should. This isn't about frightening you. It's about giving you something far more useful: clarity. Because when you understand what's happening, you stop blaming yourself. You start responding earlier, and you protect the one thing that matters most at this stage of life: your independence. Doctors often put it this way: after 65, the body doesn't suddenly break. It becomes more candid. It gives feedback more quickly. It recovers more slowly. And it requires more respect. That's not pessimism. That's wisdom worth holding on to. Change number 1. Recovery takes longer. Even from small things. One of the earliest and most misunderstood shifts after 65 involves recovery time. You might notice that muscle soreness lingers for days instead of hours. That tiredness after a busy afternoon stretches into the following morning. That a mild cold or minor illness leaves you drained far longer than it used to. This happens because the body's cellular repair process naturally slows with age. Tissues take more time to restore themselves. The immune response, while still functional, operates at a more measured pace. This does not mean you are weak. It means your body now requires more time and more gentleness to bounce back. The approach that worked at 40, pushing through, powering past discomfort, often works against you after 65. Honoring recovery isn't giving up. It's giving your body exactly what it needs. Change number 2. Balance and coordination become more sensitive. Many people are caught off guard by subtle shifts in their balance. Not a dramatic loss of stability, but something quieter. A slight hesitation at the top of a staircase. A moment of unsteadiness when turning around quickly. A bit more caution when walking on uneven ground outside. Research tells us that balance isn't controlled by a single system. It's the result of several systems working in precise coordination. Your vision, your inner ear, your nerve pathways, your muscle strength. After 65, the communication between those systems becomes more sensitive, more easily disrupted. This is why falls so often come as a shock. There's rarely one obvious cause. It's a collection of small shifts that together change the equation. The most important thing to understand: balance requires attention. Before a fall happens, not after. If you're finding value in this, we'd love for you to like the video and subscribe to stay connected, with content made thoughtfully for you. Change number 3. Sleep becomes lighter and more interrupted. This is one of the changes people are least prepared for, and the one that causes the most quiet frustration. After 65, the architecture of sleep changes. You may find yourself waking earlier than you'd like, waking more often throughout the night, spending fewer hours in deep, truly restorative sleep, even when you're in bed for a full 8 hours. Doctors are clear on this point. This does not mean you need less sleep. It means sleep itself works differently now, and brushing it off as just part of getting older carries real consequences, including memory difficulties, low mood, and a weakened immune system. Sleep still matters enormously after 65. It simply requires more intention, more routine, and in some cases, a conversation with your doctor. Change number 4. Hunger and thirst. Signals become less reliable. This one genuinely surprises most people, and it's critically important. Research has consistently shown that after 65, the body's internal signals for thirst and hunger become less precise. You may feel completely fine and not realize you're dehydrated. You may eat less throughout the day without sensing that your nutritional needs remain just as high as they ever were. Over time, this quiet pattern can lead to fatigue, dizziness, difficulty concentrating, and what some describe as a mental fog that's hard to explain. After 65, staying nourished and hydrated requires conscious awareness, not just instinct. It means building habits, drinking water at set times, eating regular meals even when appetite feels low. Your body may not remind you the way it once did, so you learn to remind yourself. Change number 5. Stress takes a heavier physical toll. Stress has always had physical consequences, but after 65, those consequences arrive more quickly and linger longer. Even low-grade, ongoing stress, the kind that doesn't feel dramatic but never quite goes away, can elevate blood pressure, interrupt sleep, and increase inflammation throughout the body. Psychologists who specialize in aging note that the nervous system becomes less resilient to sustained pressure. What you once absorbed and moved past now costs more, physically speaking. This means that calm is no longer a luxury. Rest is not indulgence. Managing stress after 65 is a genuine health strategy, every bit as important as diet or movement. Change number 6, warning signals become quieter. This may be the most important change of all, and the one that carries the highest stakes. After 65, the body's warning signals often become subtle. Rather than sharp, obvious symptoms, early signs of a problem may appear as persistent fatigue, a change in appetite, slightly disrupted sleep, a loss of interest in things you normally enjoy, or a vague sense that something feels off. Doctors who work with older adults say this repeatedly. Serious conditions are frequently missed, not because patients are careless, but because the signals simply don't feel urgent. They feel easy to wait on, easy to explain away. Listening earlier makes all the difference. A quiet signal attended to promptly is far easier to address than one that's been silently building for months. The most common mistake isn't aging itself, it's the conclusion people draw from it. This is just how it is now. I don't want to make a fuss. I'm probably just being dramatic. That kind of silence, however well-intentioned, delays help. And delayed help is often what costs people their independence. Paying attention to your own body is not complaining. It is not weakness. It is, at 65 and beyond, one of the wisest things you can do. What this means for you, none of what you've just heard means that decline is inevitable or that the best years are behind you. What it means is this: after 65, the body runs on a different operating system. And when you adjust your expectations and your habits accordingly, when you give your body the respect it's asking for, something shifts. Energy stabilizes, confidence returns, risk decreases. The goal after 65 is not to fight change. It is to understand it well enough to work with it. After 65, your body is not failing you. It is speaking to you differently, more quietly, more urgently, in a language that rewards patience and attention. What no one warns you about is that aging rarely announces itself loudly. It whispers. And those who learn to listen, who stop dismissing, stop pushing through, and start paying careful, respectful attention, they tend to live longer, steadier, and with more of the dignity they've earned. You don't need to panic. You don't need to pretend nothing is changing. You simply need to listen and respond with care, because after 65, your body doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for respect.